I find your argument flawed and historically flawed by logic as well as by history. You say that the Ankh is for Coptic Christians and they've been wearing this for 2,000 years. That would be an incorrect statement, sir. It is only recently that some Christians have been accepting the Ankh as a symbol and using it as the Kemetic cross. This was never the Kemetic cross, ever, never, not at any point or time nor time. The Coptics didn't use this for that reason or for that rationale. And they're not trying to push out Jesus either. This has absolutely nothing to do with Jesus. This is actually more of a hermetic symbol. It is a hermetic symbol for the balance between the masculine and your feminine energy. Then only through the balance of your masculine and feminine energy can you generate creation, can you generate life, can you generate anything. You see, if you try to have an idea of a business, so to speak, but that business is all thought through as masculine. And let's say you're doing something that's a male striptease. That's all masculine, right? Your thing trying to do is get the females, right? Get the women. Well, if you only do the business based on the instruction, based on like a business plan, that's all masculine. But if you don't know how to nurture a business, how to build a business, how to work with the mentalities of the people who are involved in the business, how to use marketing in order to attract people and gain their attention, which is the nurturing part. If you don't know how to maintain the business on a day-to-day basis, which is the nurturing part, almost like gestation, then your business will fail. As with any idea that you have about doing anything, I can give you all the instructions of how to become healthy, but if you don't do the work, you don't go through the process, the 9, 10 months it takes to get healthy, then the nurturing part of it, the feminine part of it won't work. This has nothing to do with gender. This is all about energy and what those energies represent as far as the Hermetics are concerned. I know in our culture today, we have turned that on its head, but that's what it means and that's what it stands for. I do not wear this as a sign of Kemetic science or a sign of being Egyptian or anything of that nature. This is Hermetic as a reminder of my masculine and my feminine energy and always maintaining a balance, which is why I could come on here and in many videos I could be a whole ass, but instead I'm just like, a balanced ass. And I try to be polite. I try to give information to, at the end of the day, provide a spark of thought so that people think about what they are saying and what they believe and balance it with facts and then ingest it, think about it, contemplate it, put it into action and see if it comes out as wisdom. If it doesn't, go back and get some more facts, redigest it and see what it comes out at that point, gain that deeper understanding. And we'll continue to move forward in who we are. Now, you say that ain't no way billions of people. Here's the problem with that thought process. Your numbers don't add up. You have about 2.6 billion Christians in the world today. You have about 8 billion people in the world today. You have your almost a little over 1/3 of the population who believes in Jesus. But you have almost 2/3 of the population who don't believe in Jesus. So the overwhelming majority of people on this planet do not believe in Jesus as your Lord and Savior. The Muslims just say that Jesus was a great prophet, a great teacher. The Jews don't even accept him. He was a heretic, or he was a teacher, a rabbi. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So your billions of people believing in something doesn't make it right. Millions of people believe that the Third Reich was right, yet they were wrong. Millions of people believed in the Soviet Union, but it collapsed, it failed. Millions and billions of people believed that the earth was flat, but yet they gave up that belief. Now you got a few 100,000 who believe that. Just because the overwhelming majority believes something doesn't make it right. Millions of people believe that slavery, billions of people throughout time actually believe that slavery was a good thing, a natural part of man's psyche. I mean, Aristotle said that it is the natural part of man to be either the master or the slave. Yet, I think that most of us will agree that slavery is wrong. So just because you have a minority, as far as the world is concerned, But a majority in America, which that is slow is on the way out, by the way, just to let you know. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make you right. It doesn't make the religion right, doesn't make the belief right. And the main reason why it doesn't make it right because there are very little facts to back any of it up. There's very little to no historical proof of your Jesus ever existing. Josephus talked about 4 different Jesuses, and all 4 of those Jesuses end up being a part of your Jesus. Tacitus wrote about him 125 years later. Didn't really write about him. Wrote about what the people who called themselves Christians believed and that they existed. So did Pliny the Younger and others. But no historian during the time frame of Jesus actually wrote about Jesus, which I find odd. I find that interesting. That in the Levant, there were 125 different known historians, and none of them wrote about Jesus during those years that Jesus supposedly lived. And there's no stories about him from those people, those who could have been eyewitnesses. Yet everything that you have is based on a long ass telephone game. That doesn't give validation. There are no coins minted in his name. There's no pottery. All there is literature. And it's literature that is written decades and 100 years later. Long ass telephone game. That's all it is. So before you criticize or have thoughts about what this is, research what this is first. Or even this one, the Hand of Hansama. Yes, it's known through an Arab name right now. But did you know that it used to be called the Hand of Mary? That Christian women during the Middle Ages used to put this over their doors and wear this as a charm in order to make sure that they maintain their fertility or gain fertility or warded off crib death. They had to get rid of Lilith. Lilith might come and kill their baby, which is another mythological story that I talked about in 2 videos ago that I did today. So this symbol has went through many things, and even before it was placed on a hand, so the hand comes from Jainism, but even before it was placed on a hand, it was just the evil eye to ward off other people's negative thoughts. So study the symbolism and then talk about the symbolism. Don't just talk about the symbolism as to how people may think about it today, because what people think today concerning people back in the day doesn't match up most of the time. And in order to do that, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.